It is day 20 of my 30 days of decluttering in January challenge, and today I tackled the shed. I was very close to tackling the utility room. So the utility room in my house is really bugging me at the moment. And I was like, I'm just going to do the utility room in general. Even though I'm not doing like whole rooms as part of this series, our utility room is really small and mostly the things that annoy me are the crafts. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to tackle the majority of the kids' crafts in there. Right. And then I look outside, like I said, beautiful sunny day. It is Saturday, and like I should be doing the shed because when else am I going to do it? And it occurred to me like I might not actually get the chance to do that outside space again in this series. So I hit the shed. It's been a really long day. It's like a really tiring day. We just started our boys doing football on a Saturday morning. It's like an hour and a half on a Saturday morning, starts at 9. So I took last week, my husband took this week so he could like see what it was all about. It's only the second week of going. And then Daisy and I hit the supermarket at like 9:15 this morning doing the food shop, which with a 2-year-old, like, oh my gosh, I really think I should be more organized and get my food like delivered or at least do like a click and collect. And I used to do like every single week, really organized, getting the food shop done online. But for ages now, we just haven't been very organized with like meal planning. And I tried doing HelloFresh before Christmas, which was good, gave us some ideas of some new things to try. And I've kept like all the recipes that we really enjoyed. But I'm still not in any kind of routine with food. So I need to do like a bit of a meal plan, I think, at some point. But for now, we're just like, oh, there's no food in the house. How is there no food in the house? What will we eat in the next few days? Who knows? Let's go to the shop. So that's where we are. So that was our morning basically, and then straight from football, my 4-year-old had a birthday party, which my husband took him to. So it was like ferrying them there because we're a one-car family, and then getting the house tidied up because getting out of the house like really early on a weekend means we just left it looking like a bomb had hit it. And so when we got back, I had to do like a whole tidy up from breakfast whilst putting all the shopping away. And it was a big shop. We do like a big shop every couple of weeks, and then like we'll do smaller top-up shops in between. So this was a big shop to put away whilst getting lunch ready and cleaning up from breakfast, and then going to pick up 4-year-old and my husband from this party. And then we did crafts, which is like one of my favorite things. So after all of that, after I cleaned up all the glitter from the house, so we made snakes because apparently it's the year of the snake, Chinese New Year on Wednesday next week. So we decided we would celebrate it like no one in our house is like any kind of relationship with China, but like we like Chinese food, so it was like a good excuse. We made the snakes, and then we had a Chinese takeaway. In between that, I sorted out the shed, and I wish I had taken some footage like actually in the shed. I can't believe I didn't do that, but like looking back at it now, like why didn't I show you what it looked like before? Because basically you couldn't actually like step in it at all, and it was probably like height wise full up to like 2/3 high of stuff. And no, we don't have a lot of storage space in our house. It's an end terrace house. We don't have a garage, and this shed is quite small. So in terms of like longer term storage of stuff, we have the shed and we have our loft. In the shed, we have gardening stuff, gardening tools, lawnmower, strimmer. We have a couple of deck chairs and a table. Then we have paddling pools, quite a lot of paddling pools, it seems. We have DIY decorating stuff, tools in there. And then we have barbecue, and then we have seaside toys. So like there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of categories in the shed. So basically, I mean, I would say my strategy, I didn't actually have a strategy, which you might see from the fact that I'm kind of like mooching around. I have sped this up 3 times the speed, and I'm like a bit of a sloth in this video. Obviously, I think I was spending the whole time like, what next? So basically, I'm just dragging things out bit by bit, gingerly, because you might have seen me encouraging something off of the table when I took it out early on in the video, and that was a really big spider. So I've said this before, like I'm pretty good with spiders. I'm pretty good with big spiders as long as they're skinny. I am not good with big and fat, right? When they are really thick, thick spiders, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh. But yeah, very early on, I found one of them. So I encouraged him off the table and then walked around him, like hopped over him until he scurried off. So I want to kill them. Like I don't like, I'm not taking my shoe at them, right? But equally, I don't want to touch them. I don't want them getting on me. And they just give me the creeps. I found a couple. As it turned out, there was one underneath that like red unit that you can see just inside the door. So I had all these little ball pit balls, and you will see, like I went to get the ball pit balls out, and then they all fell out of the bag, and a few of them went under that unit, and I was scooping them out, and out come this massive spider. And I was like, "Do you know what? It's fine. Some ball pit balls can just live there. That's where they live now. That's their life." Right? That I was going to get rid of all of them, but apparently I'm going to get rid of all of them, bar the three that are under there and still remain there now. And I'm fine with that. I've made my peace. So I basically was a bit ginger with everything. Like everything I picked up, I was like having a little look around, like, is anything on this? Is this just the item, or is this an item plus a friend? So yeah, I managed not to get any on my head and on myself or accidentally touch any. So we're all good. But yeah, this unit of drawers, right? I'm trying to think how old this is, but I think it's over 20 years old. Like original IKEA, that is. I used to have this in my first flat with clothes in it. And then I've basically like repurposed it and repurposed it and repurposed it like everywhere I've gone. So in the shed, it has tools in it. Do I ever go to the shed for tools? Like if I'm missing a tool, do I think, should I go and check the shed? Do I know what's in it? Absolutely not. So I basically thought like we just need no tools in the shed. So I have two tote boxes underneath the stairs now with tools and decorating supplies, and then another like area of that storage unit has my like big toolbox in it. So, like, that's where all of our tools and decoration stuff needs to live. It needs to be under the stairs all together. Yeah. And that's it. So, this is the trouble I have a lot with the house. I've got categories of stuff like scattered around, like kids' crafting stuff is kind of everywhere. The tools were in lots of different places. The tools were in the utility room, under the stairs, and in the shed. So now we're going to be in a position where they are all under the stairs, and that is it. Like a few screwdrivers in our junk drawer in the kitchen, but I think that is necessary because sometimes you just need a screwdriver, right? So I think everyone should have a couple of screwdrivers very close at hand all times, and then main tools, decorating stuff under the stairs. So sifted through those, and like everything I thought like I would use, like practically would use, I have put in a bag to take under the stairs, sort that out. And then everything else was either fit to the bin or I could gift on to somebody locally. So I'm happy with that. I think that's a really good like move. But other than bringing the tools and like decorating supplies into the house, everything else was like back in the shed or gifting on to somebody. Now, this little racing car that you can see in front of me, like I've got such fond memories of my mum and stepdad giving that to the boys when they were little. My mum and stepdad like used to love an auction. I mean, they still do, but with my stepdad being so poorly now, they can't go to any. But they got this racing car at an auction for like a steal, absolute bargain, and wrapped it up and had it at their house. Went over one summer for the weekend, and the boys' faces when they saw it was just like so magical. So we have so many fond memories of that. And I was saying to my husband, like, I feel like this is the last year with it. And he agreed, but he made a really good point. It's like we're not getting it out enough for like our youngest to use. So when it gets to like springtime proper and the weather cheers up a bit, because at the moment our garden is like very, very muddy. But when it cheers up a bit, like I will make more of an effort to get things out. And I think really we've just been in like season upon season of lack of sleep, really, really young kids, very, very hard to do anything. But we are starting to gradually get on our feet again. Now that our youngest is turned 2, we're still hit and miss on the sleep in my house. And, it's one series of illness after another, but things are getting easier and she's getting, a bit more like independent at times. So I feel like, yeah, this is the year we will kind of get things out a bit more, like get the paddling pools out a bit more, get in the garden a bit more. And I think we have, like recently, and I felt at Christmas a real telling point. Like usually Christmas is like I get loads of crafts in, I get loads of Christmas baking stuff to do with the kids. And then at the end of the Christmas period, I usually feel a bit like rubbish that we haven't actually got round to utilising everything. And bar one thing that I got to do like as a Christmas activity, we did everything else this year, this Christmas gone. And like I really felt like we'd actually like, we'd done all the things that I'd wanted to do. We'd made all the memories. We'd done the gingerbread house. We'd done all the like making the snowflakes and all of the like little activities and the baking and everything that I want to do. And I had packed in like I like a craft. I like baking. I love Christmas. So I'd got a lot of stuff to do and we did it all. And like I really felt like, yeah, like we're getting a bit more organized. We're getting a bit more like we're getting around to things, So I feel like this summer we're going to get around to doing a bit more, like do the bike rides, to have the days out, and get the little car out. And then I think really then my youngest by next year, like she'll be too big for it. So at the end of this year, it will be time to pass that beautiful car on, probably to maybe our younger nephews. I don't know, but we can pass that on to somebody else for sure. So in terms of, I think inflatables, we have a lot of inflatables and paddling pools, that is for sure, and I'm sure that some of them aren't good anymore. I think some of them might have some punctures. It certainly is some of the smaller ones, but I'm not sure which ones. So that will be my task over the summer, is to like get them all up and use them at various different points and assess what is good and what is not. We do have 2 paddling pools. They're not massive, but they do take up a lot of space. And one of them we'd got, and one of them was actually a gift last year, like a joint birthday gift for my boys. So we will use those. They are definitely paddling pools for smaller kids. So probably in a couple of years, if they're still okay, we'll be passing them on locally. So I'm okay with that. And here, I think we managed to get things. I'm not saying we, like this is just me. I don't have anyone like behind the camera, right? But got the kids' bikes back in, and actually got my daughter's little balance bike, which was in the Wendy house because there wasn't really like enough room for it. I managed to get that out of the Wendy house and put that back in the shed, because I also want them to be able to use the Wendy house more, whereas we've been using the Wendy house as like toy storage, and we can't be doing that anymore. So I've got rid of a load of stuff in the Wendy house when I did the garden declutter. Now I've moved the bike, and then I'm going to get some like fake astroturfy stuff to put in the bottom of the Wendy house. And then that's my plan for that. So in the summer we'll use that more. But look at this. So from not being able to get in it, there is space. There's space at the back as well. The inflatables, the left-hand side, do take up quite a lot of space, but I think we'll whittle those down in the summer. We've got garden stuff, we've got barbecue stuff as you go in, we've got paints at the back, inflatables there with a little car on top, deck chairs, lawnmowers at the back. It's organised, everything's got its spot, and we can actually, like when you move the bikes out, you can get to the back of the shed now, which is amazing. Here's everything we got rid of, and so much. Here's everything I got rid of. So we've got a bit of rubbish there. And what I'm pleased to tell you is I listed everything. Immediately after I filmed this, I listed everything I was giving away. I listed it locally to give away for free. And everyone has said who wants what, and people are going to come get it tomorrow. So it'll all be gone tomorrow, which is awesome. And then I also broke down the cardboard, put it in the recycling, and put everything else in the rubbish immediately. So basically, by the end of tomorrow, all of that is gone, which I am so pleased with, because yesterday I felt like I didn't really do enough in my declutter. But I will see you in the next one. Bye!